Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle.
or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or this episode, how about Monica and Shannon Brown? Don't you love them?
Yeah, I do.
I kind of like their look. They look low key, but they still popular. They got all those cheering together. I think, even with Monica, it was just good to see her get with someone because I think, was it her fiance or a long-term boyfriend? Didn't he pass away or was killed in a car accident or something very, very tragic? And I know she used to do interviews to say, I don't know if I believe in love or move forward in love, but then she found Shannon. They have all those beautiful children, and I'm just so excited for them. One of the quotes Monica has said is, "We are together a lot because I think you make time for the things that are important, and our marriage is important to us. So we make time all the time. Every day is a new day, so it never stops. You never stop learning from each other. Sometimes the best moments are just the quiet ones." Come on, look, two snaps. Because that's what it was about. I talk to folks all the time about folks you and Neil be hanging out. Well, Neil my best friend.
Yeah.
I enjoy spending time with him. And I think Monica's right. Sometimes the best moments are when you just sitting on the couch watching Netflix or laughing, or you're just sitting at the kitchen table, or you reading, I'm reading, or sitting on the back porch. Those are the best quiet moments. Or I always like Saturday mornings when we get up, but we're not really up. And we're just sitting in quietness.
Right, when we just sit in the bed.
And the only thing is touching is our big toe or my little toe across your leg, something like that. Just that type of intimacy, I think, is so important. So shout out to Shannon Brown and Monica. What you think?
I love it. I think that's one of the things that we enjoy a lot of is sitting on the couch and just enjoying each other. And sometimes it's not just sitting next to each other or being on each other. Sometimes, our heads be on opposite sides of the couch, and the only thing is touching us our legs wrapped together.
Yeah.
And just having that time to let your partner know is, hey, you here, but I think it's also a sense of intimacy.
Absolutely. So again, shout out to them. They've been married since 2010, and they have all those beautiful children. Niram, who is you?
I'm Niram.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Nyambi.
Oh.
I always do that every once in a while, don't I?
Yeah.
I be forgetting it's me.
Because
I be caught up in you. I'm like, who is you? You like Niram? And I'm like, uh-huh. And I'm like, oh, I got to come on and say something.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 37, y'all.
Yes. So be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. And be sure to follow us on all forms of social media. And we can be found at Black Love Matters. That's Black Love Matters with no K. So I guess I should start my check-in.
Yeah.
You see how I'm rolling through that?
I see.
Hey, I'm getting good.
This going to be the Nyambi show, I see.
Oh, what's wrong with it being the Nyambi show?
Ain't nothing wrong with being a Nyambi show, baby.
Maybe we should do one of those shows where it's just your show and my show. Maybe we'll do a show with you and your boys, and I'll do a show with me and my girls.
Okay.
That might be fun.
It might be.
Who group will be more entertaining?
Well, since it's going to be me and the guys, I think me, Nia, and Mike is going to be more entertaining than y'all.
Oh, that is a nice trio there. That is a good three musketeers right there.
Yes.
What in the world y'all going to talk about?
Shit. Whatever the hell we want to talk about.
Okay.
Who you going to have?
I don't know.
Nadifa.
I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that like I don't got no friends. Don't do that. And Jesus.
Oh, okay.
No. Who's going to be on the show with Nyambi? Me and Jesus. It's going to be a devotional. It's going to be Nyambi reading from the Bible saying prayers. You tried to play me. But anyway, I'm checking in. I'm still itchy, y'all. Remember, I broke out in hives. So I'm recovering from that. It's not as bad as it was, but I still got a couple marks on me. What would you say, Nero? Is it where it was, or is it clearing up?
No, it's definitely starting to clear up.
But it was all over me. Now it's why are you looking like that? I'm not contagious.
No, because I'm just looking. I'm just checking you out.
It's all on my back. It's everywhere, ain't it?
Yeah. I don't know what you ate. The thing is, it happened in such a short period of time, and we traveled.
Yeah.
Maybe you're allergic to Detroit.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Don't do that. We may have to go back. Don't do that. It did. It was was the night of my grandfather's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day we woke up.
Right, and then you had it. So that's the thing. I don't know if it would happen the night before where we went out.
I think it started that morning.
Uh-huh.
I think it was because I was playing in the grass.
Maybe.
But I've never been allergic to grass, though. Because I had a jacket on, and it's all over. I think it would be grass if it was just my legs, but it's everything.
Yeah. So I think it has to be either an allergic reaction to something.
To some ribs.
Maybe.
That's what I ate, honey. Ribs and baked beans.
Maybe. You did season that meat.
I did. Ooh. Well, I'm
You season
sitting-
that meat like Auntie Fee too. Shout out to her, R.I.P.
You talking about in the sink? You
Yeah.
just put it in that
And you
sink.
just-
You clean that sink.
And you just put your arm out and you just use your arm and just
Shut up.
take that meat and just whip it around. That's what Nyambi ass is doing.
Shut up. I
Now
was
she
not.
wondering why she got highs. Her ass been playing in that damn meat.
Shut
No
up.
gloves, no nothing.
I wash my hands and everything. You are silly. But anyway, y'all, I'm still on my Benadryl. I'm taking, as soon as the show go off, take some more Benadryl because I'm itchy still. Other check-in, I seen Insecure. Molly. We was just on the same page last week, and messed around, slept with that man with the voice don't match his face. Ladies out there, do y'all know what I mean? Like, he's a good looking guy. Like, I'm not throwing shade to say he ain't good looking, but his voice don't match his face. It's just like David Beckham. David Beckham, fine. But have you ever heard David Beckham talk?
No.
When this episode go off, or if you got some downtime, just Google David Beckham and listen to his voice. Like, you would think David Beckham had kind of a deeper voice, right? Like something a little sultry. He really talks like this. And you're like, what the fuck? It just don't go.
Uh-huh.
And that's how Dro is to me. Like, he has a super, super deep voice, and it just doesn't kind of go with his look. And every time he come on that stage. And it's all going to be bad, Molly. Whoever this girl is, I don't know what his girlfriend is, she ain't going to be for the bullshit. And somebody feelings going to get hurt, or Molly going to get caught up in some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody going to get pressed. I don't know what's going to happen, but this ain't going to end good. I told y'all open relationships are beautiful. Polyamorous relationships can be beautiful, but I think you walk in a fine line when you know both people very intimately. And you ain't looking to be in a polyamorous open relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it'd be different if Molly was like, I'm open to the idea of sharing my man, sharing a woman, sharing myself. But Molly done made it clear that ain't what she want to do. She make it clear that she want to do what her parents did, which brings me to my next point. Y'all, your parents are human. As godly and as many pedestals as you want to hold them on, they are human. They all had their past. They all done did their dirt. They all done had their ups and downs. It just shocked me how outrageous Molly was when I guess somehow, it's always them aunties who be talking too much. I got them too. I don't know if it was the most appropriate time at the wedding renewal ceremony to be like, I can't believe they made it. Was it 30 years?
Yeah, it was something crazy.
And
like that.
shady aunties, I can't believe they made it through the first year, honey.
The way he was just slanging.
And then here come Molly with her feelings hurt. Sis, you weren't even born. And then you gonna get mad at your dad, and then you gonna disrespect your. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Because I say it to people all the time. People can be horrible husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, but can be great parents.
Mm-hmm.
Them two things don't necessarily go together.
Sure
So
don't.
it's not, I didn't even think it was her place to even bring that shit up. What you and your parents did was you and your parents' business.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, ain't nobody whooping on nobody's asses or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what the arrangement was. You don't know what went down. So that just was a little over the top for me. And then it got me to thinking, do people really hold their parents on pedestals like that?
Yeah, they hold them holier than thou.
I don't, because my family, I'm sure some stuff went down, and that ain't none of my damn business.
Nope.
You stay out of it, just like my business. Our
Stay-
children, our future, stay out my business.
Right.
I don't know if I'm gonna let our children listen to this podcast. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, okay? Not mama's lane. It's the grown folks. What you think about that, Nero?
I definitely think that people, they have like these whole high expectations of, what people thought it was goals and relationship goals and blah, blah, blah. And I think that's where Molly fell short at. Yeah. And I even think it for like people are like us, like, hell, we ain't perfect. And our relationship is not the end all be all. Hell, we still striving to be like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Barack and Michelle.
And
and
their
hell.
relationship ain't perfect. Jay-Z and Beyonce did 2 whole CDs.
Right. Talking about that shit. So
on some shit I wouldn't have stuck around for. And I damn sure ain't Beyonce or Michelle. Okay? I wouldn't have stood around. Y'all would have known it. I would have released it on TMZ. Fuck that nigga. Fuck him.
But I think that's the beauty of Black love, and it's like an onion. Everything is multifaceted. It's beautiful, it's ugly, it's nice, it's mean, it's all these things wrapped up in one. And that's love, but that's also Black love. And I think the thing that makes it Black love, because A, you're Black, but B, when you think about like the historical context when it comes to slavery and everything else that goes around with it, that sometimes shit go down, and good or bad, and I'm not going to even say like, I even think that, a partner stepping out on another partner is not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
No.
For some couples, it can bring them closer together because it's a warning shot or, a sign for both of them to say, hey, you know, I did this because of this,
Yeah,
and
I
I
mean,
need
don't
you.
try that shit with me, but yeah. No, I really
Yeah.
I ain't being shady. I'm
Yeah.
don't try that shit with me.
But I think
But
okay.
it could be.
Mhm.
It could be.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
Yeah. So I think that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Where I was like, and then even thinking about Molly, the way you operate in sis, or the way you operate and move. I sound like my granddad now. The way you operating, the way you moving, are your actions, the things you're doing now, is that something you'll be proud to tell your children?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You so caught up on cheating and stuff. You got the balls to tell your kids you was too scared to go to the white man and ask for the money you owed. Come on.
Hey,
Come on. Is that not a word or is it a word?
what a lie.
Do you see what I'm saying? So what is these levels to is this moral hierarchy that's at play right now that I think Molly just done got me in my feelings again. And then Issa, what is Issa with her roster? What? I just really need Issa to go on a health and wellness retreat. Who is it? Hey friend, hey. Hey friend, hey. Can she just give her a wellness retreat and just go and just cleanse her body with this eclipse, cleanse some stones, align her chakras. I just need Issa to be very, very still right now and not date anyone for like 6 months. And then after that 6 months of journaling and juicing and fasting, then she can go date someone. Because it's too much. Because this white/Latino guy, I don't know what's going to come of this. I can't even really read him. I wouldn't went on a second date with him because I couldn't read him. Like, it was just too, like, it was like, do you not want to be here? Do you want to be here? Like, it was really strange. And then the shit she got going on her at work. There go that white girl again. She getting on my damn nerves.
What happened with the white girl? I think I dozed off.
You fell asleep. Because I actually was having a little trouble piecing together the storyline. So I think it was just a long week because we was doing so much. But you know her white girl that was mad about the principal?
Yeah.
She's still getting the attitude with her because of what happened. My thing, again, here's this moral hierarchy. Why that white girl never say nothing else when they bosses and they coworkers be saying that racist ass shit? Do you see it? Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
if we calling the thing a thing, I need you to call out everything, sis, and not take, you know what I'm saying? And not pick something else. But I think Issa, she gonna have to nip that shit in the butt because white women known for getting bitches fired.
They are.
White bitches is known for getting motherfuckers fired on technicalities. So watch your back, sis. I don't know what happened to Lawrence this episode. I forgot.
Me either. All I seen is he was running.
You really fell asleep, didn't
Yeah, he was running with the white girls, and
I can't remember.
and that was it. I don't know what else happened.
It ain't
along.
nothing too memorable.
I guess not.
I forgot what happened.
He didn't have a 1.5 some, so.
Oh my! Only thing I really could focus on was Molly and Issa in this episode, and also how Molly did. What's his name? Ronald wrong. What's his name? From This Is Us.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ronald.
Yeah.
Is that his name from This Is Us?
Yeah.
He did Ronald wrong. Ronald skinning and grinning in that purple and blue suit. It reminded me of that Instagram meme we put up.
Yeah.
And the little girl was like, "What color is Daddy?" Purple.
Oh my God.
I thought.
Oh,
and I'm like, he purple,
God.
his suit purple, but he clean as hell with them white teeth running. He clean, ain't he clean?
He clean.
Yeah. Other updates from me, as y'all know, the store is overcrowded. It's back to school. I told you it's Black Friday season for the summer, so everybody is buying all these rulers and trapper keepers and lunch boxes and shit and they about to lose their mind. But this time we're going back to school. As y'all know, I used to work in higher ed. And this is kind of the first year I'm not working in higher ed because I'm stepping out and trying some new stuff. So it feels a little weird, Nero. Like, I feel like I should be. Why you say it like that?
Yeah, I feel you.
It feels like I should be gearing up for something, or
orientation or something.
Orientation. Like, I feel like this is the beginning of my new year because this is like around my birthday, new school year. This is when I get my new planner. So I usually don't get a new planner in January. I get my planner started in August. Like, and I'm not doing any of that. So I feels a little incomplete. So I need to do some inner work and into reflection on where that comes from. But I am feeling that. It's a little strange. Also, I missed church for the last few weeks because we've been traveling. So I know this Sunday I'm immediately running to that altar and laying on it. I think I just missed the word. Like, not that I haven't, been praying and in the word now in a few weeks, but it's just something about, being in fellowship with others and, like, making that physical act of leaving and going that I think I really need to get back to. And also, might be a sign that I just need to change up my spiritual development, professional development a little bit, just to feel a bit more connected. And, Lord, with this eclipse and Leo season, my birthday, it's just so many emotions flying up and through me that I need to just get them a little bit in order. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like, I just need to center. I need to ground and center myself a little bit. I feel like I'm a little bit all over the place. Not in a bad way, but in an uncomfortable way. And I can't figure out if it's good or bad or if it's a distraction. Because them distractions is huge too.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on with you, Neil?
I'm sleepy.
Okay. Oh my God.
I am sleepy. You know how y'all sleep, with traveling and shit, but you just don't feel quite rested? That's how I feel. I am just tired. I'm a little cranky and I'm a little grouchy as well. And I'm probably a little hungry too. So I got all those things going on. And, after we record this podcast, I think I'm going to lay down and try to go to bed before like 10 p.m. or 9 or something. Please just try to, get my sleep pattern and go back on. Because I think one of the things that happen is that, the way, why are you rubbing against me?
Because I'm itching. I'm itching.
I swear to God, if I come back tomorrow and I got hives and I'm itchy, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
But no, the way that, our house is set up, the sun is always rising in our windows and our bedroom is bright as fuck. So I'm just trying to figure out, if I need to get a little mask go out so I can sleep a little bit longer, or if I'm just going to put a blanket up against our windows over the shades to block out some of that light. So that's more or less trying to figure out that and get my sleep pattern back on, because that's what happens when you travel a lot. It just fucks you all up. Oh, okay. Other than that, I went to get my my Achilles treatment again. I ain't got another damn shot, and I think that this is the 5th time, and I'm gonna take a little break for I think 3 months or something like that, and see what happens. One of the things I am afraid of, that I might have to do an injury deferral for my marathon, because just on the fact that this injury is not getting better, I haven't been able to get the mileage I need to run this marathon. And then I went to go on the New York City Marathon website, and you know how they got the little ticker, and it's like you got 79 days left. I'm like, fuck. I don't think I'll be able to do it. So I might have to figure out if I can do like an injury deferral or something like that. But I really don't want to chance it. I've been injured for this long, and I'm starting to see some progress, and I really don't want to chance it with going to full marathon training, because it takes a lot on your body, and I just don't want to be in the midst of training trying to get my mileage up between now and the end of November and get injured again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can't do that. You have to listen to your body. And everything happens for a reason. Everything's in divine order and the way it's supposed to happen and why it happens too.
I hear that.
You have to listen to that.
I hear all that, but my ego ain't feeling it.
Your ego tends not to.
My ego is not feeling it. So, there's more or less going through that whole process of, get my ego in check to be like, yeah, I know you want to do this, and yeah, you probably couldn't do it, but you'll fuck around and injure yourself up even better, even more than where you at.
Because you don't want to have surgery or anything.
No. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm not injured enough, or like the Achilles not torn enough to have surgery, and like the tears are like very microscopic, or that's what they say. So I really don't want to go through all that. So I think I'm gonna end up just taking a deferral and chill out for the rest of this year when it comes to running, or just not do as much running until I'm fully healed, so I can go full steam ahead when it comes to marathon training. And I'm kind of sad about that, because I thought this was going to be the year, especially with me getting into New York City. I was like, oh yeah, like this is the time. Yeah. I done got in. I done applied to Lotto like 5 years straight and never got in. It's like I got in, so I got to make it. I got to do it. I got to figure out a way to do this, and it's just not playing out into the cards. So I'm a little sad about that. I'm kind of in my feelings about that, but hey, what you going to do about it, right?
Can we walk it?
Yeah, we can walk it.
How long does it take to walk it?
Shit, it's probably going to take me 12 hours. I'm probably going to be that guy. If I do walk it, I'll be that guy that they profile every year, like the last person who finished the marathon.
Why you do that? Ain't nothing wrong.
That'd be my ass.
I mean, but you doing more than the folks sitting at home on the couch, huh?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
So that's what I got going on, baby.
All right. Well, we sending you good healing. We need to send you good healing energy, and y'all need to send me good mental clarity energy.
Amen.
Come on. God is good.
All the time.
And all the time, God is good.
Yeah.
We got a Black Love Story today?
We do.
All right. Well, before we get into it, as always, go to www.blacklovematters.com to submit your Black Love Story, and we'll be sure to shout you out.
All righty.
All right, Black Loves family. We have two people here today that we think y'all really gonna get a kick of. So we were back at home in Detroit this past weekend, and as Nerom saying, he was at his good friend's birthday celebration. It was just good people, good energy all around. But there was a couple that really stood out to us that we really wanted to highlight and bring onto the podcast. And you want to introduce that couple?
Yeah, these are our good friends, DeQuindra and Ricardo. DeQuindra and Ricardo, how y'all doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Good for a Tuesday.
Oh,
Come on.
that is what's up. So let's just go ahead and get into it. How long have you guys been together?
We have been together for what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
Yep.
2.5 years.
That's what's up. How did y'all first meet?
Okay, I'll go ahead and let you tell this.
Okay, so we met. We actually a dating website, POS. We met off of POS.
What's POS? Look, I'm already engaged. What's POS?
POS is like it's kind of like OkCupid and Tinder, but I don't know if it's like Tinder. Well, I guess
it's a dating website.
Yeah, it's a dating website, so you can say it's like that. It was, I had been on there probably like a year and a half prior to meeting her. So, with a dating website like anything else, you run into weird people, people, so you never know what to expect. Sometimes, catfish, all that good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And just like Ricardo, I had been on there for, I think this was my third time getting on, probably within 2 years. Because, you, like he said, you find all types of people, but I have found probably 2 relationships that I had been in before I got back on and found him. And I say I found him because I messaged him first, which he was out of the 2 years, he was the first person or the only person that I ever messaged first. So I got back on because I was, frustrated and being like, okay, if I don't find somebody this time, I'm just going to adopt a 7-year-old daughter and live my life, right? So, yeah, once I got on there and messaged him, and I tell him this all the time, I remember looking at his picture like, oh, he cute. I'm thinking, he cute. So I'm like, I'm not really expecting this to go too far, right? I'm just like, whatever. But, it'd be fun to go out and, have a date and stuff with him. So this was probably at like the end of October of 2013? No, 14.
15.
No, it wasn't 15. It was October 2014. Yeah, because we got together. He don't know. Anyway.
I always love how couples be like that. They're like, what date was it? When was it? I love that.
It was funny because I like to tell our first date story because he, we drove separately, obviously, when you do internet dating, which I don't know if any of you have, but I'm sure a lot of your listeners have or are going through it. You never have the other person pick you up because they could be the killer, right? Like the killer don't just go, oh, I'm the killer, let me come to pick you up, right? Like they just the killer. So, we had a great day. We went out to dinner, went to the movies, and we were in Royal Oak, and we parked in the parking garage, right? So he parked his car like on a lower level than me. He was like, oh, let me take you to your car. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, no, that's okay. He's like, no, I just like, okay, cool, right? So we're walking, we're still talking, having a good conversation. And, starting to like look out for like, which car it is. And we are walking up to this minivan type thing, right?
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I don't see too many guys driving this. So I'm like, whatever, it was newer. Yes. So he opens the door and I'm like, okay, that's nice. And I get in. He has all the seats down in the back. And there's like one long dolly. And I was like, this nigga really the killer. So I got
like a Lifetime movie.
Mm-hmm. No, for real. I instantly dialed 911 on my phone. The time it took him to walk around the back to get on his side. And I'm like, okay, if anything happened, I'm going to push in and just had a phone playing so they could at least follow where I'm at. But yeah, so he's not the killer. Years later, he's not the killer.
Ooh,
if he is, you playing it real good.
Right.
He playing the long game.
Right.
Oh man, that's so good.
So Ricardo, how do you feel? DeQuindra reaching out to you, man. Like, how do you feel to be prey?
You know
All right,
what?
Niram. All right.
Right, pray though.
Right. It was, you know, I can't say it was different because, like, I'm a handsome guy, I would say.
See, he know he do. Like I said,
So, you know, women had, you know, me being on POS for like a year and a half, women had reached out to me, and I, you know, reached out to other women or whatever. It was something that I was like, okay, you know, a conversation, but you never know how the conversation gonna go because you talk to people on there, and you know, they conversation weird, or they don't know how to really hold the conversation good enough to pique your interest. And at that stage of my dating career, you want to say, I was kind of looking to settle down because, you know, I had been on POF for like a year and a half, and I was like, you know, I kind of gave it one more try. It was like my fourth time giving it another try. Cause I was in a relationship. I met someone off there. I was in a relationship the first time, like the first couple of months I was in POF, and it didn't work out. So I stayed off of it for a few months, and then I got back on it, and then, you know, I was like, well, I'm going to do my whole phase. I'm just going to meet girls on POS.
Okay, shout out to Team Lawrence.
Not Team
You know
Lawrence.
what I'm saying? So I did that. You know what I'm saying? I was Team Lawrence. I was out here, you know, meeting girls and doing my thing. And then I was at the end of the summer, I was like, I had really just was like, I really need to quit playing games. I'm starting to get older, and I want to kind of settle down. So I was like, I'm gonna get this dating thing one more shot, you know, online dating thing rather. And you know, I could say she messaged me. Now, you know, she messaged me. I was also talking like responding like to other girls at the time. They had messaged me like, hey, you know, so I'm responding to them and her.
Player.
And
don't let Niram get you in trouble.
So, you know, they was slow. Like I think one of the girls was kind of quick replying, but you know, DQ was like right on it. Like as soon as I responded to her, what she said, you know, we started going back and forth. And then you know, the kind of little things we was talking about, she was asking me, you know, different questions and stuff, and I was asking her questions. I was like, oh man, she seemed like an interesting person. You know what I'm saying? I almost was like, no, she said she went to Michigan State, so I was like, no, I don't know about that. You know, that's kind of like strike. That's kind of like two strikes right there. But you know, I feel sorry for her, so I was like, I'll look out for her this time. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we had set up a date, and we exchanged numbers. I think we exchanged numbers because it was kind of getting late, and then from there on, you know, kind of like the rest is like history. We text a lot, and then wound up setting up a date, like the fall that weekend, and then we went out, and I think we had one on like four dates in a row. Like it was like in a row. Like it was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We had one on like those 4 dates, and I was like, man, I never did that in my life.
Okay.
I know that's right. So the next question we have for y'all is, when did each of you know that your partner was the one?
I would say, because when I was doing the online dating thing, like I was doing it with friends. So I had other friends that were also doing it at the same time. And I remember talking to my one friend, Kia, and, you know, just kind of telling her about all the dates we had been on. And I remember, you know, after we had our 4th date, you know, we was like, all right, you know, we're going to chill out. You know, you want to seem too eager, if you will. And I remember he used to send me video messages in the morning as he was driving to work. And the first time he did it, you know, I instantly was like, oh, he didn't mean to send me this, right? I was like, he didn't even send this to me. And, you know, he just kind of kept doing it. Now, I wasn't sending him back because this morning, you know, I got my hair wrapped up. I ain't got time for that. But, you know, he was all fresh faced in the car. So,
you got to reel him in. That's how you reel him in. Get him a little video message in the morning. Say a little sweet nothing spoon. You know, you got. I know the game. You gotta reel him in.
He courting. That's old school.
That is courting. That's the new age courting.
Right, exactly. So I remember I was, we were probably like like 2 or 3 months in. So this is like so we met October, you got October, November. So yeah, Christmas or Thanksgiving time. And I remember telling Kia, like, I was sitting one day, we were texting, and at work I would be, checking my phone to see if he sent me, a text message or, whatever. And I remember, coming home from work one day, and me and Kia had this whole conversation, and I was like, I told her, like, think I might be falling in love with him. I'm like, I can't tell him, right? Because, meeting somebody on a dating website, you always, take that chance and being like, oh, you know what? I got somebody else. So, but you're real cool. But I remember telling her that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry.
And so, that's what I knew. He would make me laugh, and like the stories, we were talking about. I remember on our second or third date, we went to Fridays. And we like shut Fridays down, and we were talking, and it felt like, at least to me, it felt like we were the only two people in the restaurant. So I think right then is when I knew, like, this was different. Because like I said, because you go on so many dates, and there's so much small talk you can do, and there's so much everything, you just kind of sitting there. But with Ricardo, it was like, this is different. Like I said, I felt like we were the only two in the restaurant. We were talking. He was like the story. Sorry. And, bouncing stuff off each other. So I would say probably 2 months in, as I was just kind of sitting there kind of reflecting over how we met and things like that, is when I was like, I'm falling in love with him. I am.
Amazing.
What about you, Ricardo?
You know what? I remember, I was kicking with my cousin, and I remember I think me and him had went out, and he was like, it seemed like you and DQ getting, real serious, man. You've been spending a lot of time, with her, and are you guys looking to get in a relationship? He's like, what's up? I was like, man, I think so. I think that's where it's headed. And he was like, man, I didn't think you would. He's like, I didn't think it would happen that fast. And I was like, I didn't think that it would happen that fast either. But we've really been clicking. I was like, I can't say a bad thing about her, and that's a first. When you get into a relationship, it's always something. Or when you're dating, it's always something you're like, man, I don't know. It's always little warning signs you see from somebody, and it may start off something small. You know what I'm saying? And then over time it'll grow. But it was nothing. Like, we had great conversation. She had a big heart. You know what I'm saying? She would do anything for me. She was cool. She was easy to talk to. Didn't come with no drama. And I think that was something that was big for me, because it seemed like I had only dated women that had some kind of drama, or was about some kind of drama. And it was no drama on her end, like none. You know what I'm saying? It was just somebody I could talk to, I could laugh with. We always had good times when we were together. And I was like, man, it's something that's different, something that was totally different than anything that I had ever been dealing with. And like I say, I really enjoyed our conversations and stuff. And I was like, I'm kind of feeling in love. I'm feeling like I'm falling in love with her. And I hadn't fallen in love with somebody in a long, long time. And it was a good feeling. Like I say, after that conversation with him, I remember driving home, and I was texting her, and I was like, yeah, she gonna be my girlfriend, man. I gotta make this happen soon. So, yeah.
Perfect.
That's what's up, man. What would y'all say is the key to the success of y'all relationship? Give us the major keys.
I was thinking DJ Khaled too.
Oh, right. Well, I know for me, it's definitely communication. I mean, we're just like any other couple. He get on my nerves, essentially. Yeah. Like, he get on my nerves, like that's what he's supposed to do. But, you got to talk about it. And it might take us a couple of days to talk about it. It might be something where, I'm like, what's wrong? He don't say nothing, or vice versa. But once we do talk about it, I feel like, okay, we've gotten through whatever it was, and we can move on. So I definitely think communication is one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think communication is definitely one. Always being honest, and
Preach.
always. I mean, always being able to tell the person how you're feeling, and I think in a relationship, in any successful relationship, you have to be able to tell the person how you're feeling, regardless of how they're gonna take it.
Yeah.
In a sense, but the person who is obviously receiving it from what you're saying, they have to be able to accept constructive criticism. They have to go, okay, okay, I see what you're saying. I did this, and they may not see it. They may not see it like right off hand because it's gonna come as a shock because it's criticism. You're gonna be like, hey, what's going on? And then you look at it and you say, okay, I can see where we're coming from. And so I think based on previous relationships from both of us on both ends, it kind of helped us become better people and be able to use that to our strength now in our relationship. Because you gotta be truthful. You gotta tell people how you feeling because at the end of the day, this is you guys' relationship. You have to be able to communicate your feelings, good and bad. And then build off of that. So I think that communication, being open and honest on everything, financially, we talk about that. With our even raising our son, how we want to raise our child, what we want to do for our child now and then, also for the future. So you have to have that communication. And people think it's like, just telling somebody how you feel, or just telling them what you want to eat. Communication is so much more than that. Like it's so much more than that. It's telling that person, hey, you got the cable bill this month, or I might be a little late on the rent this month, or I did this, or whatever it is. Just being open and honest about everything.
Beautiful.
I think being willing to grow too, because even though me and Ricardo both have our past relationships and everything else, I'm still learning new stuff about me in this relationship. So it has to be something where I can't be afraid to grow or afraid to be like, okay, I do like this or I don't like this, or just being open to stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what keeps the relationship exciting and new and things like that, or doing stuff that you might not like doing.
Right.
Come on.
For the other person. Okay, just because they like it, and you'd be like, I really don't. I just work, and I don't feel like doing it. But you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway.
Growth is also I think having growth in a relationship, growing with that person is also, not letting it hinder your growth, but, growing in a relationship as well. Growth is so much, is very key in a relationship, having that growth and understanding. And
you can't forget about God, too. Now.
You gotta have God.
Naomi love the Lord. Naomi love the Lord.
Okay.
And I really love what y'all was saying too, but something I also wanted to ask you, because I know we hear the little one in the back. Could you all tell us a little bit how your relationship has, I don't want to say changed, but evolved since you've had a child? So kind of the good, the not so good, how your relationship has manifested after that?
Right. So Ricardo Jr. is my first child, but Ricardo Sr.'s second child.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a 13-year-old daughter. Her name is Ramaya. And, Ramaya stays the majority of the time with her mom. Mm-hmm. So before RJ came along, we were kind of kid-free. Like, Maya would come over on the weekends, but, then she would go home. Plus, she wasn't a baby, right? Like, I came into Maya's life when she was 10.
Yeah.
So she was always, like, use the bathroom by herself and things like
she
that.
She can sleep through the night.
Okay? Oh, girl, okay? Yeah. But I think since RJ has been here, it's definitely been different. Like I said, for me, it's being my first child. So of course, me being pregnant, that was one thing in itself. And then once RJ actually got here, as women, we have to do it, do it all. Like, so we have to birth the child, carry the child. Then once the baby is here, you're a new mommy, so you want everything to be perfect and So trying to balance being a mommy, working, and being a girlfriend was a big adjustment for me. And I'm still adjusting, and RJ is 9 months. So I think that's where the communication thing comes in, kind of telling how you feel. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to cry right now. Ricardo will be like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. And he'd be like, okay. Sometimes, I need my space. And Ricardo knows that. I'll come home from work and, he could tell that I'm like, not really into it. So he'll just go over and play his game until I'm ready to be like, okay, hey. But,
not really bad punishment if I can get some 2K in.
Whatever. You always get 2K in. But, I think, it's so sweet to see him and RJ together. Because that's daddy and son, and they got the same name, and it's real sweet. But, sometimes I'm like, well, because he thinks Ricardo is the funniest person in the world. I'm like, Mommy's funny, right? Yeah. No? And he'll just look at me like, nah, not so much. But I think it's definitely, added that piece to our relationship to make us appreciate each other more. As well as just being like, and it's so funny because it's been 9 months and we'll sit here, like his birthday is coming up and we'll just look and be like, we had a kid, man. Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy. Like, we had a full kid. But it's crazy because way before RJ even came along, we've always talked about it. Like, I think probably 6 or 7 months into our knowing each other, I would say, I wouldn't even say being officially together. We've always talked about RJ. It's always been something where we're like, oh, well, when RJ is get here, or are we gonna do this with RJ? Oh, wouldn't it be cute on RJ? Or we're kind of be like, oh man, RJ gonna be getting all the girls, right? So when I first found out I was pregnant, obviously we was just like immediately like RJ, right? And it came a point where I was like, but what if we have a girl? And we was kind of looking like,
we didn't.
So we didn't pick a name and all that stuff, but we just knew it was gonna be a boy. So
perfect.
Yeah.
So, what other advice you got for the other couples out here?
I would say, always keep God first. Pray. Definitely invite prayer into your everyday life. Church together. Definitely talk, communicate a lot more. That's definitely one of the most important things. Communication. Trust, building trust. I know a lot of people come from bad relationships where trust played obviously a key factor into it and it was broken. Building that trust and just kind of, living blind in a sense. When you start any kind of new relationship with someone or reconnecting or wherever the situation is, trust is always a major factor. Don't never give a person a reason to not trust you. Because you wouldn't want that on the other end. You would never want that the trust to be broken. Trust is probably 90% of relationships.
Come on, you're giving a word now.
They're destroying. Right. So always just building that trust up, communicating with that person, and just enjoy the company, enjoy the youth. I talk to a lot of older couples, and they say, when you got somebody that you're in love with, enjoy that youth, because you're going to get old one day. You're going to look up and you're 60, 70 years old, and you ain't going to be able to move around like you used to. But they always say, just enjoy it. Travel, eat good food, laugh, build memories. He's like, you may live a lifetime and you never be financially rich, but as long as you're rich in the Lord and you're rich in your relationship,
sent chills through
what
me.
else matters?
Come on, Ricardo.
What else matters after that?
You done sent chills through me. Come on. That's a word.
Let's get advice, and I want to talk to the girls a little bit because I would say don't give up, man. Like, it's definitely times where, like I had said, this time don't work out, I'm going to adopt me a 7-year-old little girl, and we about to be mommy and me for the rest of my life.
Come on. Yep.
You can't give up. Like, it's definitely love out there. You got to kiss. I had to kiss a lot of frogs now. I had to kiss a whole bunch of frogs. But once you find that prince, it'll make it, like, you'll be like, that's why I had to kiss all them frogs. Like, and then you never know why you got to kiss all these frogs. Is maybe because your prince ain't ready for you yet.
Come on.
He gotta be good and ready, because you don't want somebody that's not ready.
Come on.
This is not gonna work out. And that's you get your feelings hurt, and that's when you get on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram talking about something. I don't need nobody. It's just like, come on, like that's not what it is. But definitely like be open to love again. If you know, no matter how many times you've gotten hurt, you just gotta trust in it. Pray about it. I made a list and prayed over that list and slept with it for probably 6 months before I met Ricardo.
That's the alchemy.
So, yeah, you gotta keep the faith, because I know, especially once you get older, like we are, there's all this pressure to meet a guy and to start this family, and dudes be like, "Hey, man, I just want to get cold stone," and you talking about like wedding decor. I don't understand. And you got to take it slow. You got to, like you said, get to know that person, enjoy that person. Don't rush it. Don't rush any of it. So just keep your faith, ladies. He out there, I promise.
That's what's up. Is there anything else y'all want to tell us about y'all love story that we ain't touch on?
I mean, I would always tell guys just to pay attention to the signs, because women say stuff and they don't directly say it, you know, and it definitely takes time for a man to be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. You know, she should have just said that. A lot of women just don't say it. You know, they do little things here and there. And you can kind of see them. If you don't, ask your mother. If you got a mother, auntie, or sister, talk to them. You know, pick their brain. Hey, such and such been doing this lately. What does this mean? And they gladly tell you. So definitely pay attention to your partner on both ends. Men can be more straightforward. They be like, hey, look here, girl, you ain't doing this right. You got to do this. Or I like my food like this or something. So, women, they kind of do stuff with subtle. It's subtle. It's like, man, she been coming home late every day. What does this mean? Guys don't pay attention until they lost that person, and or something happens in a relationship when she's been giving you breadcrumbs, bruh, for like the past 6 months. You just ain't been picking them up, So definitely, guys out there, just pay attention to your women and know your women, get to know them, because that's the person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one of the most important people in your life besides your kids and the Lord. That's got to be everything to you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank y'all again. This conversation was amazing. We have to invite y'all back, and y'all have to do like pillow talk and answer some questions with us. I just love y'all love and how authentic it is and how real it is. We so appreciate y'all for being on the podcast.
Yeah, we are really
thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night, okay?
Yeah, we talk to you guys later.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, I just want to give a big shout out to DeCringer and Ricardo. We really appreciate y'all for coming out into the show.
Yes, it was amazing.
It was.
Ain't they so real?
They are real.
They just Detroit wrapped in the boat of me.
It is.
Like, you know how whenever I think of Detroit and our family and our friends from Detroit, they're just how genuine and just authentically them. I think it's beautiful, and I think they're a beautiful representation of what Black love is.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, head on over to blacklovematters.com/love story and submit your Black love story, and we'll shout you guys out. And we may just reach out to y'all and, hey, y'all come on the show and share your love story.
Hey, we love that, don't we?
Yeah. Baby, you got any pillow talk?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I want to get into, I don't know if y'all know, that the Missouri governor has halted the execution of, I think his name is Marcellus Williams. So I don't know if y'all been seeing it on social media in the news. Marcellus Williams, who's 48, was scheduled for yesterday evening to be executed. However, his attorneys brought to the attention of the courts that there were DNA evidence that was unavailable during his trial that now can prove his evidence. So what happened, it went to the last couple moments. So it literally went to the last hour or two before this man was going to be executed, and the governor stopped it. And I think he stopped it because of this evidence. So now they're going to form, I think I might be getting this wrong, but a new grand jury or someone else to review the evidence to see if he even should be in jail for this crime.
Oh, sure.
So because before they didn't have the DNA evidence. So now they do have this evidence. So they have to try him. So, I mean, stand up to that governor for doing that. Because a lot of people were like, no, he was convicted without that DNA evidence, if it's here now, it doesn't matter. You're moving forward with it. But I think, again, that's a testament that you have to be unwavering and steadfast in your truth and continue to move on. So, I just want to send some good juju to that man and, just really, God is real. What did you say in that the funeral you went to? What did the pastor say?
When I was serving my 2 life sentences, the Lord came to me and I gave myself up to the Lord. There was no preacher. I just read the Bible and I said, Lord, you got me. And the next thing you know, I'm out and I'm talking to Obama and I got deals in my email. I ain't going to gloat, but I got one that's for $3.1 million. And I just sent it back to them. And I said, I want more.
Oh, okay. I wasn't going to go
This is all at the funeral, y'all.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, honey. It came back to him. But just to refresh our memory, he was convicted of the death of, her name is Felicia Gay. Her name is Felicia Gay. She's a 42-year-old, a former reporter with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch newspaper, who was stabbed 43 times inside her home in August of 1998. Wait, first of all, that's some bullshit. She was stabbed 43 times and they had no DNA evidence on him? He shouldn't have been convicted of that shit to begin with. How you stab somebody 43 times? Ain't no DNA evidence nowhere. Stabbing.
Lord.
But I was just saying, could you imagine what it was to be like him, to be him? So with 2 hours less to your execution, I can only imagine you've already had your last meal. They let you make your last, because I think they let you call who you want to call, right? And make your last phone calls and all that stuff. And, I'm assuming they let him do his kind of last will and testament. So all this stuff is done.
He did all that. He already like, all right, I'm about to die.
You about to die, and you sitting in the cell or wherever they put him, watching your TV, whatever you're doing, and you're literally about to die, and then somebody come in and say, you ain't gonna die tonight. Dang. Could you imagine?
Fuck.
Could you imagine the emotions and the relief and then all the things that has swept over this man?
Right.
And if it comes out that he ain't guilty,
they're going to have to pay his ass.
A lot of see, that's why I was worried they weren't going to do it, because they don't like to pay folk.
No,
they don't like to pay folk, and they don't like to admit folk.
They rather kill him, and they rather
kill him than go through
the
I don't know, the retaliation that this is going to cause.
Yeah.
I'm assuming with this DNA evidence, how you going to deny DNA evidence?
You can't.
You can't. And our hearts go out to the woman who was Felicia Gay and her family, who, she shouldn't have been stabbed. We want to get justice for her. But if this man didn't do it, he been in jail since what, 98?
God damn.
98?
He don't know what Facebook is. He don't know what Instagram is.
None of that.
iPhone.
His whole life, like his life skill, all that stuff.
Yeah. How you supposed to live? Like, if he get off of this shit and he go home, like how is he supposed to
integrate society?
Yeah, integrate back into society.
And not just professionally. I'm talking about emotionally.
Life wise. Yeah. Like, wake up, his first day out, he wake up in a regular room.
Yes.
Nobody talking about wake up, nigga, it's time for count.
Yeah. So, I think it's very powerful, and I'm happy that, they did not execute him and they're dotting their I's and crossing all their T's. I hope this young man gets out. I hope they do find, this woman's killer. But my heart does go out to both of those families. Mm-hmm. So, the Gay family who lost their, their daughter, sister, cousin, and also to the Williams family who lost somebody for 20-some years, over 20-something years. And, again, I'm with you, Niram. How do you integrate back into that? Because I even think of relatives that I know have been in jail, and they didn't do nearly as long as that, but they were changed. They were different when they came out. So I can't imagine adding a layer of being on death row. So being on death row is different than being in jail. So your clock is ticking to death.
God damn.
That's it. You're just waiting to die. That is what your job is. So I only can imagine the type of mental anguish he went through, and then just being a black man in jail, the other mental sufferings he went through. So again, our thoughts and prayers out to the Williams family and also the Gay family.
Mm-hmm. That's what's
you
up.
got anything else about that, Nero?
No, that's it, man.
Yeah.
I really just think it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shit show, whether he get off or not. But, my heart goes out to both of them, the person who died and the dude who's going through this, because still, this is a lot to go through.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, he probably was mentally ready to go. He was ready to go meet his maker.
Right.
Because, if you believe in, the afterlife, it's better. It's better to go there than stay here. Mm-hmm. Right? So now you got somebody saying, no, psyche, staying here.
God.
How do you navigate through that? But again, we'll keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And he done made it this far. He didn't bring you this far to what? To leave you. Come on.
Oh.
What you slamming me for? How you know he a waymaker if you never been lost?
Oh,
Come on.
go ahead and hit that testimony now.
I got plenty of testimony. I am a testimony.
Talk your shit,
You can't
Nyambi.
have a testimony without a test. And this brother got a big test right here.
Talk
So,
your shit, Nyambi.
I hope he come out with a book or something. I'll buy it to support him.
Talk your shit, Nyambi.
I'm just telling you my truth. Come on, Neil. What else we got
Okay.
for Pillow Talk?
So, and more R. Kelly news.
Maybe we should talk about the Lord some more. What?
A woman has came out and has said that she had underage sex.
R. Kelly going on once a week, too.
With R. Kelly. And finally telling her story. This woman has signed a NDA and is willing to break her NDA to come out to go ahead and put R. Kelly out there. So on Monday night, BuzzFeed published yet another damn story.
Who is the investigators at BuzzFeed? And when did BuzzFeed become up there like with CNN and shit? BuzzFeed and TMZ, who is on their staff?
Because, TMZ be confirming deaths and shit before everybody else.
Confirming the damn deaths.
It's been confirmed by TMZ Michael Jackson is dead.
He did. What's his name? Harvey Levin did get that shit out soon. Who was on their team?
I don't know.
Savage.
But BuzzFeed and published another damn story about R. Kelly.
They done came a long way since these tasty recipes. Honey, I be watching them for their tasty recipes.
And so this young lady is Jerronda Pace, I think it was. She said she was 15 when she first met her musical idol, R. Kelly, outside of his child pornography case. What?
Oh my goodness.
And then, she go on to say that, she was there while he was going through his case and kind of met him out there and somehow figured out how to get to R. Kelly, and they've been having sex since he was underage. And
oh my God.
R. Kelly paid her and signed this DNA and everything else.
Oh my God.
So
this none of this is new. We just, for some reason, I'm not even gonna blame this on the brown community. Everybody, the brown community, the music community, the white community, the records, that we've been playing dumb. R. Kelly have told us this numerous times. He like these young girls. He gonna do what he want to do, how he want to do it.
And this nigga still getting away with it.
He's still getting away with it.
Because
now we don't reach the statute of limits, or you got girls who are old enough who aren't coming forward to say that they were taken against it. And maybe they not, but it's just something about that age thing that got a little brainwashing tinge to it. Like, it just, you couldn't wait till they was 20, R. Kelly. Just get out the teens.
Something.
Just get 20.
And I'm not gonna go into the whole not TMZ, but BuzzFeed article. But if y'all want to read it, as long as hell, it's probably about a good 15-minute read.
What?
Yeah,
they go on BuzzFeed.
Yes,
BuzzFeed just give bullet points.
I know, right?
List. Yeah,
it's about a good 15-minute read. It goes all into details, but the real noteworthy thing is her ass had an NDA. Now she broke that shit. Now
what
she
does
willing
that
to come
mean
out.
now? I know what an NDA is, but what were the terms?
I don't know what happens when she break that NDA. I don't know if she got to pay R. Kelly some money back or whatever. But whatever it is,
sue her. But if you don't got no money, what you suing for?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have no comment. Okay. R. Kelly ain't denied that. What? He got songs. I don't know what y'all want. Keep your children away from R. Kelly.
Please.
Next story.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You still going?
My last thing is, why is this nigga still winning? Like, why is this nigga still...
What do you mean still? I don't want no bad against him.
Why is this nigga still having concerts and shit? I know some concerts got canceled. Why is this nigga still having concerts and everything else? Why is this nigga still a thing? That's what I keep going through. Yeah. Why is R. Kelly still a thing? We know this nigga's a pedophile. When is the statute of limitations?
I think we've been hit it for a few folks. But the thing is, if the women don't come forward and explicitly like press charges, there's nothing the government, what you want the police to do?
But some of these girls are 17. So this nigga gotta be...
Because what state you in? 17 is a legal consent.
I know, but I'm saying though, if he got him at 17 now, you know he had him at 16.
Yes, but you got to prove it.
Somebody anonymous.
You said anonymous.
Anonymous hacking to R. Kelly phones, his web servers, hacking to his iPhone and get those videos so his ass can go to jail.
Has R. Kelly or any other folks gave their side of the story? You know, it's always their side. His side, their side, and the truth.
No,
so
R. Kelly ain't said shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know he can say.
Told him shut the
fuck up.
When
you're dealing with lawyers, what they say? Don't say a goddamn thing.
What color's the sky? Ask my lawyer. But none of the women there. Cause I know there was a couple women who came out and said, he didn't do nothing to me. Like, have they came out and tell their side of the story?
There was a couple videos, but it seemed like old girl was coached.
No, I'm talking about I want on like ABC News Tonight.
No, ain't
with
nobody.
all the lights and cameras on.
No, ain't nobody went there to.
Not no Skype video. I want them to be in like with Barbara Waters or Oprah.
Not coached.
Yeah, not coached. I just want them there. That ain't happen.
Ain't none of that happened yet.
That ain't gonna happen to another 10, 20 years when
I
R.
know,
Kelly
right?
old as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, keep them lifted up in prayer. Y'all keep your children, and not just R. Kelly. Watch your children around any grown person, man or woman.
Right.
You can't just leave your children around anybody. Period. That's just a thing that you have to be careful of.
Yeah, especially. Some of these even grown women. Shit,
That's what I said. Any grown person, man or woman, you don't leave your children around.
Yeah,
everybody.
especially with taking too much of an interest. Like, it's okay to
come on,
like take an interest in the kids to like help them win and
mentor.
grow and mentor. But if it's starting to become more than a mentorship,
hey, tell them there.
It's a problem.
Yep,
it's a problem.
All righty, next story.
And other Get Out news. I know this is
Get Out news. That's what you call Get Out. And Sunken Place news.
And other Sunken Place news. I know this is kind of late, but I just had to touch on it.
What?
I don't know if you've seen it. That ESPN auction shit when they auctioned Odell Beckham off for $34, like a Get Out scene.
What the hell?
So they was doing some fantasy football.
What you
bullshit.
mean Get Out? You mean a slave auction?
It was
Please.
slave
okay,
auction.
Tell me
it was
back before I go to him. Tell me, make sure I understand the story. Go ahead.
So basically, what it was ESPN was doing something for their fantasy football draft or whatever, and they was auctioning people off like slave auction. And
Jesus.
Yeah, it was some white people and things of that sort, but it was the black people in there too, and that shit it just touched too close to me.
What the fuck is that? I keep going back. There's not one black intern or EP to be like, hey,
I think this is a little Get Out.
This fuck Get Out.
Yeah,
this
slavery.
reminds me of the slave auction. One big buck nigga here. Like, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. And not even with that. With the climate that's going on, do we think this is appropriate?
I don't think so.
No one has been able to say that. So they literally had a white man on the podium, right?
Yeah.
Who was saying, if you want this big nigga, what? What is the difference?
He started off at $15.
He started at $15. What they sell him for? $34. What ESPN say? They sorry. I'm sorry. What was that for color girls who thought about Murder Over the Rainbow? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
For Lord of Divine. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So what they say?
That's what they said. I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
You know what they said. I ain't got to read the statement.
Well, we just told y'all, what was that, last week about chasing that ball like a dog for these white folks. And what they do, they selling you. They getting you lined up. They want you to be seen and not heard. Mm-hmm. Did any athletes say anything about it?
No, not that I noticed. I ain't seen nothing about it. I just seen that and I was like, this is some bullshit.
Ain't this some
bullshit? This is why I don't fuck with sports.
How can you lack the cultural? This was ESPN, right? I want to make sure.
The number one sports
They got to
channel.
have a chief overseer in charge there. They don't got no chief diversity officer. That was like, hold on, white man. Hold on, white privilege. Bring it back. That's too much white privilege.
Right.
What was the other black man that worked for him? Stephen A. Smith? He ain't see this shit. Because they're going to have his ass up there next. Right. Come on. You can and will be replaced. Don't get too comfortable. I don't know what to say. It's sorry. Next.
You know what? This is too much football news.
What? No. Oh, wait. Did y'all hear about the other one before we get there? What Nyambi called it. I told you what, some white boy was going to do this. So who was the first NFL? There was an NFL white boy to kneel during national anthem, and he explained why. Yeah. Nero?
His name was, I don't even know how to fucking say his last name. Seth DeVal.
DeValve. DeValve. That's why he did it, because we don't know who he is. Smart move. Smart PR move. So who he play for?
He played for the Cleveland Browns.
I didn't even know Cleveland had a team.
Yeah. So, basically what it said, first of all, big shout outs because
I'm teasing them, but good shout outs to you.
I feel like more players should be standing up and
yes.
Sitting down. I keep saying it. UVA team, all y'all sports players, especially all y'all niggas, y'all need to boycott. Y'all need to do a sit out.
Something in unity, like something with your do something to outwardly express your support.
So the reason why, I think one of the reasons why he did this, he married to a black woman.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Because he said, he's married.
So his children black.
Yeah, he married to a black woman.
Bring up a picture of him.
I can't find a picture, baby.
Okay.
But he said He said, I myself will be raising children that don't look like me.
Oh, they black.
Yeah. And I want to do my part as well.
I mean, they going to look like you. They just going to have darker skin. Watch it, Seth.
To do everything that I can to raise them in a better environment that we have right now.
Ain't this a bitch? Seth DeVal, he 24 years old from Manchester, Connecticut. White ass New England.
Oh my God! I told y'all about them liberal ass white people in white ass New England.
No, but I know we teasing him, but he right.
Yeah,
we really need more Seths out there. You know, we ain't know who he is. He my new favorite football player. But it has to be a unified front.
Yeah,
for this to happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go all into the with his comments and shit because just a little late. But I just wanted to bring that up because this is big. It was him and other teammates. Like it was about 12 other people.
But he the white one,
who took the knee. And since it's all these black people, it's not really new news now. But since it's a white guy, they had to bring that up. So more power to him. I think more NFL players should do that, especially like. We joke around, but I am wholeheartedly serious about
I ain't watching that shit.
Chasing the ball at the dog for the white man's enjoyment.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You can forget that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to Google his girlfriend.
Oh, okay. You trying to find his black queen?
Yes.
But I really think that's something, and I think when it comes to all these other players and athletes, and you witnessing injustices, you have to stand up. And the best way to stand up and to do something, I know like taking a knee is one way, but walking out off that court, walking up off that fucking field and saying, you know what, we ain't playing today. Got you, bitch.
Yeah.
And see what happens when they on ESPN.
Just dead air, honey. Stephen A. Smith only got so much to say.
Right. And it's just
dead air. He can't talk for 5 hours.
It's just dead air. They taking timeouts and everything else. Y'all ass ain't playing.
Come on. Wouldn't that be beautiful? What's like big college day? Is there a day like where all the bowls are being played?
Yeah.
And then all the niggas be like, we ain't playing.
All the bowl games, shit.
And they just sit on the bench.
Any game. Yeah. Any game.
And just like, we're done.
It's gonna get news. Like any game where there's majority black players. So football, basketball, step the fuck out.
Yeah.
Don't fucking play for a game and see what happens.
Yeah.
You're going to have the fucking governor. You're going to have the fucking president.
You said the governor and the president.
I'm for real. Let's imagine a school like Michigan State.
Yeah.
Which is like, or not even Michigan, U of M or Michigan State, which is the flagship universities, of the state, and it's like D1, Research One, top tier university, public Ivy, and they step the fuck off that damn court and say, University of Michigan or Michigan State don't care about black people.
Yeah. Yep.
You know how much the Rick Snyder racist ass gonna come out there? They president. Obama had to go say something.
You said Obama.
Oh, Donald Trump ass gonna send a tweet from his toilet.
Yep.
It's gonna be all types of shit. Yeah. And I think that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna have to take that type of fortitude in order to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Because kneeling, that's cool. That's gonna get you something. But an actual game not being played,
losing money.
It was on national TV. You know how much money that school would lose?
Yeah, tons. And I think it's even bigger. So I know we're talking about injustices that's going on around the world and in brown communities, but I would even say just injustices they have as athletes because they don't treat them.
No.
I'm talking more so as NCAA college level. Professional athlete, they got a couple more coins, but NCAA players, they don't got no money.
No, they ain't got no rights.
They barely living. They barely eating off that dorm. They offering them some dorm food, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, this might even be a good time for them to negotiate their contracts and what this even means NCAA. A lot of people even go back and forth to say that they shouldn't be student athletes, that it should be like a minor league.
I think it should be, and I think
that might be a separate conversation.
And this is the whole conversation that people have because, I like college sports better because they ain't got the money to deal with it. They want it more for the game and blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. Everybody's there to try to make a living.
Yes.
Period. If your ass ain't in college just for fucking education, that's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
You there to get somewhere else in life, a better place. Yeah. Just like these fucking athletes, they're playing in hopes to go pro, but not knowing that 1% of 1% of 1% even fucking make it.
Yeah.
So I feel like they putting their bodies out on the line, and they be like, your compensation is education, but that's bullshit.
Yeah, because half of them don't get it, or
they don't get that. They don't get the education. Translate. They don't get the fucking degree. They put their ass in these fucking remedial ass classes. Mm-hmm. Most of these motherfuckers don't graduate. Yep. For some schools, a black person is more likely to be a neurosurgeon than to be a athlete on your team and
make
to
it.
graduate.
Come on.
Do you hear what the fuck I'm saying? For some colleges, a black person is more than likely to be a fucking neurosurgeon
Yep.
than for a college student athlete to graduate from their school.
Come on.
That is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And why the fuck is that? Yes, they should be getting paid. You didn't put your money, you didn't put your body on the line.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers getting CTE.
Yeah.
These fucking basketball players' knees and ankles all fucked up.
Yep.
And you talking about they shouldn't get paid. They fucking salary is getting paid for school. Fuck that bull. That's some bullshit.
Yes, I agree.
That's some bullshit for some shit they not gonna even make it out of. Because you think of like the rule is that most of these motherfuckers ain't gonna make it. The exception is your ass go pro.
Yes.
The other exception is you be like, you know what, I'm gonna be a student athlete, and I'm gonna actually make a better way and go to class and shit like that, and get an actual degree than some underwater basket weaving that they do for all these other players, so they can be eligible to play.
Yeah. You right, Nero. Talk your shit, Nero.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. For all the people out there, I'm not telling y'all what to do, but I just know me personally. Since I stopped playing football, for my undergrad, and and I've seen the Promised Land, and I done came back. I really don't fuck with it. I barely watch it. I only watch when I'm over somebody else's house, and that's out of respect of I'm in somebody else's house and they like to watch sports and shit like that. That I'll be like, turn that shit off. But you ain't gonna find that shit at my house. So that's all to say that. For everybody else supporting, just know what you're supporting.
Yes.
And just be okay with that. Because these students, these boys are not getting the proper education they're supposed to get. They hurting themselves. These motherfuckers are being at higher risk for CTE. And, when they do get injured, they just like, shoot his ass up with cortisone and get your ass back out there. These motherfuckers addicted to pain pills and all this other shit.
Exactly.
Like, just know what you're supporting.
That's it.
That's all I'm just saying.
That's right, Nero.
Mm-hmm.
That's a word. Look, on a lighter note.
What you got, baby?
This the last one. Then we're going to kitchen table talk. I'm late too on y'all. Y'all seen that black woman online eating that pickle?
What?
She's like, y'all know what I'm talking about. She eating a pickle, and she has like millions and millions of hits. I remember I seen it on Instagram, and I clicked on it, and I was like, why she got? I'm like, is she gonna choke on the pickle? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And she literally just biting on this pickle. Have you seen it, Nero?
Yeah, you more forced me to watch it.
I ain't forced you to watch it, but I was fascinated. So I'm like, why? These millions of hits just ain't from no world star like hits. Like these were big hits. I did deeper. It looks like she's in the world of something called ASMR. Have y'all heard of that?
No.
It's called ASMR. So it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Okay?
That's a big ass word.
Yeah, that's why we just call it ASMR. So again, that sound of her eating a pickle in a microphone, right? So it says, if you find yourself drawn to certain sounds, actions, voices in real life and experience kind of this bliss when you're hearing it, you might be ASMR sensitive. Congratulations. You hold a very unique gift in the way that you can experience the beauty of sounds, visuals, and human connection by feeling pleasure, euphoria, tingles, chills, vibrations, sleepiness, deep relaxations by just having a contact with a certain trigger or noise. There are unlimited amounts of triggers and their combinations that can be pleasant to you personally. So basically, the sound of that woman biting that pickle turns people on, calms them, or kind of sends chills through them. So it's kind of near how you like your elbow licked. I'm just playing.
You gonna put me all out there?
Why you start stuttering?
Because you got me cheesing there. You know how I like my elbow lick, baby.
But so it's the idea of hearing these noises like turn you on or give you chills. So the black woman, she did like the pickles, right? But also they had other things like talking like in a slow whisper, certain rubs, the way clicking of nails. So this basically was like a way to turn them on. And so when I seen this, I was like, oh, we got to bring this to the Black love community, because when I think about that, I think about kind of, it's something for everybody. It is something for everybody that turns you on. So again, when we're talking about sensory noises, we think things like this. So I went digging on YouTube, right? Because y'all know I'm a researcher. So I was like, I got to see more in this am I saying this right? Yeah. ASMR. When I tell you, folks have all types of YouTube channels with 3 million, 6 million, 7 million hits on people eating pickles, whispering, and rubbing up on a microphone. I almost lost my damn mind. Nero, like, wasn't you amazed on how many people was into this?
I thought it was kind of sexual for a second.
When did you think it was sexual?
Because that woman had that big ass pickle.
Yeah, she do a little extra. She had like this bright red lipstick on, and she started licking up on it. I was like, "What in the world?"
She was like, "This, how y'all doing?
I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna."
Wait, I'm gonna do it, y'all. Watch, I'm gonna do exactly what she did. Never go give me a pickle. Wait, I'm gonna get a pickle. Y'all know I love y'all. I'm doing this. For the folks that haven't do it, this is how it was. She came on. She was like this. Hold on. Welcome. Today I'm gonna eat a pickle, and I'm gonna enjoy the pickle.
Oh.
Shut up, Nero. Hold on, you get me out of character. And then she was like, okay, now I'm going to bite the pickle. Sorry, y'all, for y'all listening.
Whispering. You're not whispering.
I'm not whispering good enough. So now we're going to eat the pickle. Oh, my God. I'm going to choke on this damn pickle. Oh, my God. Wait. She just... Ooh. Go ahead, Nero. I'm choking on this pickle.
Her ass was eating that pickle. It was a big ass dill pickle too. I was looking like, what the fuck? I said, Nyambi, you might need to fuck Black Love Matters. You need to. I'm about to record your ass whispering and eating pickles and
in
shit.
The microphone, and she just like,
yeah.
I said, what the hell?
Just making all types of mouth noises, and I'm like, I don't know whether to be sued or get turned on or what.
But when I thought about that, I thought like, so everybody, we always say the thing. It's somebody for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it's something for everybody. So this got to me thinking, like, kind of, what's your kink? Mm-hmm. What's something that you like? What's something different? So before we get into that, Nero, what would you say about this? Am I saying this right? ASMR. What do you think? Do you think it's a real thing? Do you experience, or what is it? Let me do this pickle again. That bitch was eating a pickle for 3 minutes.
We gonna have to link a YouTube video on the show notes, because I'm telling y'all gotta watch this shit, because it's so, you be like, what the hell? And then you see how many hits. She got like 7 million hits. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna get naked in the middle of it.
And her ass is eating this damn pickle, tearing it up, making all types of mouth noises. What the fuck?
And whispering.
This
pickle was so good.
And it's so many. So, you know, the white women.
So good. This pickle was so good.
The white women got like 10 million hits and shit like that. I'm about to record myself eating some pickles. You know they got like that deep voice. What's up, y'all?
No, but I noticed it wasn't a lot of men.
Yeah.
It was a lot of women.
It's a lot of women and shit. It's like pretty girls and shit with lipstick on. And they just be, hey,
eating chips.
I'm going to eat
gum, popping gum. All the things your mama told you not to do at the table.
Making all types of mouth noises and shit. I don't know how to feel. I'm trying to figure out.
So what you think about it? What do you think about this ASMR?
Truthfully, I don't know if I can get into it. I think it's more or less funny. But, you know, I think it's more or less humorous for me. I don't know. I haven't found a video that was like, oh, yeah, this is common for me. But when you look at some of the comments, they were like, oh, I just fell straight to sleep, like, listening to this. Like, cause I guess it's what they help people,
eating
like,
some Cheerios.
Yeah, like, it's what they help people, like, fall asleep or shit like that. But I'm not for it.
It ain't doing it for you.
It ain't do it for me.
It don't do it for me either. I won't say not in a sexual way or the relaxing way, but it do give me chills.
Yeah.
Like when she start, I think I had my headphones on, and she started crunching on that pickle. I said, God damn! Like it made like a chill go through my spine. The way she bit into it, that did do something. But it wasn't sexual or anything. But it was just more like, what the like.
And I would have to agree, because like we was playing around before we started recording, and Nyambi was like, let me go get a pickle, and she started eating that shit, and that shit did like roll down my back, and I was like, oh shit, like, oh, wait a minute.
So I'm saying, you know, out of all the things that's kinky out there, if somebody eating a pickle do it to you, hey, I think that's low on the totem pole. But I was just amazed on how much of a following that just have. Is any of y'all out there into ASMR? So it sounds, or they had one they do this.
Yeah.
It was just women rubbing on microphones with their long nails. They was doing this. Does that feel good?
Does that feel good?
As you could tell.
You're getting sleepy.
Yeah, as you could tell, me and Neil went down the rabbit hole with this. We done gave some folks a few hundred views just off of doing research and trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So, so if that doesn't do, what is something you would say is what's kind of your kink, or what's something that you will be into as much as you would like to share?
What about you?
Oh, are you saying you don't want to share?
Oh, well, mine's is I get a weird sensation every time Naomi licks my elbow.
I didn't know you really was going to share that. You can't hold water.
You asked me the question.
Okay.
Naomi licks my elbow. Something like we was just playing one time.
Oh my God, I can't believe you sharing that.
Because like sometimes Naomi just be playing and shit, so she like bites you or whatever.
Bite? Okay,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a pit bull.
Yes, you be nibbling and biting on me and shit.
Okay.
And it'd be like weird places. So she like this. I'll be watching TV and she'd be like nibble on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So one day it was like nibbling, just went all the way down my arm, and then she licked my elbow, and I was like, oh, what was that? And she's like, you like that?
Shut up!
You like
Ain't
that?
nobody do all of that.
So every once in a while, like she'd get me and like she'll lick my elbow and it just tingles me all through my body. Like Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
So I guess if that's anything pleasurable or a kink, that's one.
I wasn't talking about that. but
Elbow
okay.
licking.
Okay, I wasn't talking about that, but thank you.
Oh, what were you talking about then?
I mean, I guess you can interpret however you want. So I'm thinking more kinkier things. So, do you like to have conversation while you're in bed? Like more of a conversation, like direction giving. Like that's what I would kind of say my kink. I like to have dialogue in the bed. I don't like silence.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just like it silent.
Yeah.
No, I need dialogue. I need to know what's going on. Left, right, up, down. Do you not like it? Do you do like it? We need to have a constant communication.
Oh, okay.
I think that. Okay.
I'm listening. Come on.
So Niram don't want to have this conversation.
No, I want to have this conversation.
No,
What you got for
so
me?
I think that's more of the thing that I'm into. Because some people, that I haven't been with that just like to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like this. Hello, is anyone there? Like it's just I can't take silence. So when I'm with my partner, I do like a lot of communication. Maybe more than most. So maybe I'm on the other side, and I like to have a lot of conversation, navigating through it.
Okay.
What
I
about
can
you?
do that. Yeah. I would say conversation, but let me know you there. Let me know you like it.
Oh.
Tell me you like it.
Okay.
Tell me how much you like it.
Oh.
Tell me how deep you like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's levels
Yeah.
to it, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah. No. But I thought that was something that was unique. And knowing that there's a spectrum of the kinkiness. So I think a lot of times when folks think of the kinkiness, you're thinking like threesomes, whips and chains, but it can be something as simple of hearing different sounds, and this idea. So I know this is through sounds, but I think I would be receptive to the flip part. So more of touching.
Mm.
So, touching everything but what's supposed to be touched.
Oh.
Like, I think maybe that goes back to your elbow thing.
Oh,
You didn't
hey,
have to
why
tell-
you touching it now?
I can't touch your elbow. Shut up. But I think it goes back to that. So maybe it's more of an idea of foreplay.
Uh-huh.
So the build up to getting to whatever you're going to get to. I think that's important, and being able to embrace it.
I got one more. I don't know if I want to share
You probably shouldn't, but what is it?
it. Deep throat.
Okay.
Porn.
Okay. Now we're talking about pornography. Is that what you're talking about?
You know what really got me? And I was
What?
like, I think I might like this. I don't know if you remember that video from World Star when that lady first showed like the how to suck a dick, and she the one that did like the grapefruit.
That's that grapefruit
like-
lady from World Star. I hope she
Yeah.
got her credit.
And how her ass was making all those noises and shit.
And she just like swallowed. It was like a cucumber or
Yeah.
something. She swallowed that cucumber like in one
Yeah.
breath.
She turned me on a little bit. I said, all those noises she
Because
made.
usually it's something you work your way to.
Yeah.
But she just took
But she's like,
she just
I said, oh, shit.
inhale. She just took an inhale. Maybe she need to be on ASMR.
Yeah. Because all those noises she was
Because it was
making.
the noises. She wasn't really, and it wasn't a
Yeah.
penis. It was a cucumber.
It was a cucumber. I was like, damn, all those dick sucking noises she making. I think I'm turned on.
This conversation went somewhere I didn't think it was.
Oh.
But
Well, I guess y'all learned something about me that y'all didn't expect to learn.
I guess so. But I'd seen that and I just thought that was interesting. And I just wanted to bring it to the community to say it's something for everybody. And if it's something you into, don't be scared to share it with your partner. As you can see, you're not alone. This ASMR community is at least 10 million deep.
I know. I'm about to do
And
it.
I ain't no, wait, you going to be a person who do it or you going to receive it?
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn these microphones and I'm going to whisper
Yeah.
and I'm going to eat a bowl of Cheerios or some Fruity Pebbles and see if I can get up
Or
there.
some baked chicken.
Yeah.
Y'all, Neil eat baked chicken and sometimes he be finding the crunchy. What you be eating? You be eating like the cartilage? What the hell you be eating?
the cartilage.
And you be crunching on it. I'm like, it's baked chicken.
It'd be the cartilage.
What is crunchy? But all right. Anything else about that, Nero?
Y'all got to check it out.
Yeah, if y'all have it, it's the lady who eat the pickle. It's a reason. So I think people done seen her eat this pickle, and like, why is everybody on this woman who eating the pickle? But this is the reason why.
Yes.
She's an ASMR. It's something that really turns people on, relaxes them, or soothes them. So this is a whole community of kinky people.
Yes. I'm thinking about getting to it. So if any of
Oh,
y'all know
we
about
are
this shit,
not.
can y'all shoot us an email at
not.
blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's black with no K.
Oh my goodness.
And give me some tips how I can do this because, I think I got divorced.
Okay.
Look.
Okay. We got some kitchen table talk
How
because
y'all
you're
doing?
kitchen table talk, please, Nero.
Hold on, baby. I'm trying to practice. How y'all doing?
Nero.
You getting sleepy?
Come on, Nero. You getting sleepy. This is not what's it called?
Well,
hypnotize.
someone was like, you getting sleepy because I guess it's what to help people fall asleep.
Yeah.
So,
Like white noise, I imagine.
yeah. You getting sleepy.
Come, Nero. Kitchen table talk, bruh, sis. Come
All right.
on.
Submit your question to Kitchen Table Talk. Shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's black with no K. I fucked that all up.
Yes, you
But
did.
blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, black with no K. You want to read it?
Yes. So first, I would like to voice that this question is not intended to offend anyone. However, if it does offend, do more research and find your truth.
Okay. All right, bro, sis, cuz.
I'm gonna just have that copied in my phone for it as a intro to any email I write to anyone.
Right.
I'll read that back one more time. First, I would like to voice that this question is not intended to offend anyone. However, if it does offend, do more research and find your truth. Come on. That's a word. So, what are your thoughts on Christianity being a control method given to African Americans to worship a white savior? Before the slave trade, there was no lessons from Jesus being sold to our people. Why make it illegal to read and write, but allow religion? I love your show and feel connected with you guys. I'm going to fall back so I don't troll or become an annoying listener, but just feeling the vibe from this particular show. Peace and love, Sir Jeffrey. Ah, boy. Thank you for this.
Sir Jeffrey
I love
5D.
that intro. I'm copying that and just keeping it in my draft box whenever somebody want to test me. All right, this is a good question though. I really like it.
It is. He is.
Liam, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I guess I can go first, and then you can ad lib whenever you want to.
Okay.
I think this is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why I don't subscribe to any religion.
Yeah.
Because I think all religions can be a form of control
Absolutely.
to
Now,
whatever
come talk
person.
a word. Yeah.
And I think for me, and when it comes to Christianity, yes, like Africans had some type of religion before they were stolen and moved to America and forced upon to lose their culture, their name, and everything else, including their religion, and to follow the white man's religion, which is Christianity, and move on like that. So, for me, I personally don't subscribe to any type of religion because I feel like all type of religions are some type of it's some sort of control. Whether it's, any type of religion. I just think it's some sort of control for somebody. And we've been touched by white hands and in the readings of Baldwin and in Osho. And I think one of the things that Osho says is that, to be truly free, I think these are these level of things, of freedoms that you have to have. One of them is like freedom from religion.
Yes.
And just knowing that religion is also a form of control, whether it's from the white man in Christianity or, a Buddhist or whatever.
All religions.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think, for me, that's personally why I can't subscribe to Christianity or any type of religion. And there's some other reasons why, but just on the fact that knowing that, these slave preachers were taken to other plantations.
Nat Turner.
Yeah, like even Nat Turner, he was a preacher and was taken to other plantations to read the gospel or the word of the Lord to these other slaves so they won't uprise and rebel against their masters and shit like that and love their master and all this other stuff. And they talking about God, but that they taking it literal sense to
interpretation.
love their master and listen to their master as in a slave master.
Come on.
And things of that sort. So yeah, I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's one of the reasons why I don't subscribe to any type of religion. And just me being, me being spiritual and just having my grand architect in the universe and just knowing that, I live by certain types of principles. Be nice to people, treat people how you want people to treat your mama. don't kill nobody, only steal if you need to.
Did you say what? What you mean only steal if you gotta eat? Okay, we all eat, son. I ain't know that principle.
Everybody eats, B.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, yes, that's why I don't subscribe to it. And yes, I think all religion is a form or control in some shape or form.
Yeah, I agree too. So I think it goes back to this idea of religion versus spirituality. I definitely think religion is a form of control. And I agree with you, Niram. I think all religions have some form of control because these religions were created by, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think of religion as something that's very flesh, human, worldly, I don't want to say cultural. That's cultural, but ritualistic, connecting, community based. And spirituality is very personal. It's very one-on-one with you and your maker too. So, I like to say I'm more spiritual. As y'all know, I love to have one-on-one talks with my Lord and navigate through that. So I think that's the piece that gets other folks off. And when we're talking about religion and we're talking about man and we're talking about that combination, man, we all sinned. Do you know what I'm saying? And so we're all slanted and we all going to put our slant on different things and it's not perfect. So that's, I think, where we get into that. And then we talked about this before about the Bible being written by men.
Yeah.
So it's so I can imagine only how many interpretations of the Bible we've had over all these years in navigating through. And then now we're at the point it is, folks take it as their interpretation, and depending on who that person is and what that interpretation is going to be at that moment, that's the type of outcome you're going to get. And it's just human nature for for people to want to put themselves in a hierarchy, to want to survive, and seeing and using religion, back in slavery time as that way to control other people. It'll feel right in line. You know what I'm saying? It made sense with the white man's capitalism. That's why I truly like to say that I'm more spiritual than religious, because I think, religion is something that folks kind of turn into a club, a social club.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times when you think of church, sometimes that can turn into more of a social club and like a fraternity or sorority type things. And it's not about that. It's truly about your relationship with you and your maker. And that should be something that's one-on-one, and it should be felt one-on-one. And I think that's why we connect, because we believe more so in that one-on-one relationship, and that everyone's truth is different, but it doesn't make it any less than the truth.
Right.
Does that make sense?
And I also think I think this is where the touch by white hands come from, because I was able to take courses and learn about the lost gospels and things of that sort, and learn that there, back then there was multiple different copies of the Bible
and some chapters that are not even included in the Bible.
And shit like that. So I think I was having a conversation with somebody. I can't remember if I was talking about the podcast or something like that. Like how there, even this whole story of Jesus, he born, and next thing you know, this nigga 33.
Yeah.
Like
what happened?
Between
that time.
If he was the Almighty and did all this other shit, this nigga was a kid at one time, so evidently he did some devilish shit. And and reading those chapters, because I took a couple religious classes. One was the lost gospels, the shit that didn't make into the Bible, and just learning the Bible is a collection of, I can't remember, 46, 30, 50, collections of short stories. I call them short stories.
You call them, okay, it ain't nonfiction. It's not fiction stories.
I think it is. Truthfully, that's how I look at it. I think the Bible is more or less a fiction stories
and poems.
That somebody took together, and a king was whoever was the ruler at the time and said, I'm going to make this the book that I want people to follow. And I'm going to take these stories out because they don't fall in line with how I want the people to act.
View it.
So, that's more or less how I view the Bible and things of that sort. Yeah. So, yes, it for me, it's a collection of short stories, poems, and letters. Mm-hmm. These are letters that people wrote, and I think of it more as a fiction thing, for me. And this is something I tell Naomi and all my other friends. They laugh at me. You can throw out all the stuff in the Bible. You can throw all that shit out. All I need is the Proverbs, because I think that's, those are rules and
life lessons.
Life lessons that you can learn. And I think, the Proverbs was written from a father, telling, sons advice. I might be wrong, but that's how more or less I took it. But all that story shit and, all that, I don't need that. I just give me the Proverbs, give me the lessons learned, and I don't need no story and, none of that other shit, because I know that, it's just been, what's
diluted
the word?
And reinterpreted and manipulated.
Exactly.
To see fit by whoever the author was. And again, That's why I say it gets back to you and that personal relationship that you have with your maker.
Yeah.
And knowing your core values and knowing how to move forward in that. But that takes courage to do that, though. So, I love the Lord. Y'all know Nyambi love the Lord. I go to church. I participate. I pray. I do devotional. But probably 80% of the folks in my church I probably don't agree with in the way we do things. But that still doesn't interrupt me from me connecting with my God and me praising my God and me going to my God for my, connection and direction. That's why you always tease me when I tell you, well, not my God. Yeah. And you like, well, which God is? I don't know about everybody else's God, but I know about Nyambi's God, and that ain't how Nyambi's God works. Yeah. And I can say that because we have that personal relationship. It's like it's just me and him. Did you know what I'm saying? And that's how I navigate within the realm. And I know a lot of folks who are very traditional in the Christianity, they don't do it that way, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's more or less like when I get into this, like even how, the religious folks treat our gay brothers and sisters, the trans brothers and sisters, and it's been so many wars that was just on the backs of religious, and my religion is better than yours, and
moral supremacy.
And that's where it all comes down to, like being moral and all this other shit. And I personally just don't subscribe to that shit because I know how much. I feel like a world would be a better place if you didn't subscribe to that shit. Because I even think about some of these, maggots, these Make America Again Trump supporters, like how so much of these people are like, I'm so religious and, all this other shit.
And
God said this.
God don't got nothing to do with that. He ain't say that. Was it in a red letter? No.
Being gay is abomination and all this other shit. And I'm like, well, where did it say that at?
Exactly. Something they done interpreted.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't say it explicitly.
So, I just think about that, and I personally just don't subscribe to it because it's just too much, and, it's so much in the literal, people take it so much in the literal sense, and, they use words to manipulate, to manipulate for somebody else to say. Because I even think about how, a preacher preach and they just use, 2 sentences out the Bible. Like, Boaz said this to Ruth.
That's your favorite couple. Maybe we should have said we want to be like Ruth and Boaz.
Ruth and Boaz. Boaz said this to Ruth, and Ruth did this. And the next thing their whole sermon and lesson is just off those 2 sentences. Like, where you get that from? And you got all these texts and books and everything else. Like, how did you pull out these certain texts and words and sentences just to manipulate people for this for this lesson?
Yes.
So I just think about that, and that's why I said, fuck all that shit. Give me Proverbs.
Yeah, I think it's. I know Sir Jeffrey was talking about more about the Africans to worship for slave, but I think if you bring it to common text now, so we think of it a control mechanism, not even for white folks, just for if you think about the what are they called, the mega preachers who go up in church and say, if you don't got bring that $1,000 up to me right now, you let the Lord. Yeah. Wait a minute. Now, where in the Bible? Look, what did the Lord say in the red letter to bring you $1,000? I ain't know I think it was somebody on Instagram. I ain't know the Lord got direct deposit. What bank transaction did the Lord go into? Right. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not against. I'm all for tithing and taking care of your church, but I'm not for bring $1,000 up to the altar right now and throw it there.
Creflo Dollar. The Lord said I need a new jet.
Nah, come on. Nah,
my old jet don't work that
now,
good.
Let's make it clear. I believe in the upkeep of the church. Like, I think it's the people's job to make sure the church mortgage is paid off, the roof is, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The kids get their little pizza party for the church. I believe in that, right? Mm-hmm. But this jets and shit, no, sir. I even believe in giving the pastor a salary. So this is his salary. But sir don't need to make $500,000 a year. No, sir. That's not what we're doing in here. Okay?
The Lord said, give me a jet. I need a new jet. My old jet worked perfectly fine, but I need a new one with new leather seats.
No, sir. You better fly Spirit. $9 airfare club. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I do believe being a pastor is a full. Like, I do believe they should get I believe that. Mm-hmm. But now when we talking something crazy, was he talking? Well, how much was that jet? How many millions?
It was up there. This nigga started a GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. And then these fools coming up there. And then, so I'm thinking about that as a control mechanism. And then I'm also thinking as a control mechanism. So the stuff that's going on. So I have the viewpoint that I think the church should be much more involved in the political and social actions that's going on in the world. And a lot of churches believe that they shouldn't. So a lot of pastors believe they should not intervene. But I think this is when pastors need to be standing up and saying, this is what's going on. And I know we are preparing to go to the upper room and be with the Lord. But right now we in the waiting room. And we got to do some work while we're here in the waiting room. I also see that as God's work, standing up for injustice and advocating for groups. And I don't think as many churches are doing it as they should. Does that make sense? So if we go back to, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I disagree.
Why?
Because I feel like this is how this whole manipulation comes. Like hell, look what Donald Trump did when his ass went to Detroit. He went to all these Detroit churches. These motherfuckers were putting prayer shawls on his ass and everything.
But that's
like
what
that.
I'm saying.
And it was like, vote for Donald Trump. And hell, we don't know Donald Trump or his people paid off that pastor to say this shit.
Did he tell him to vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah. Well, what else? Why else would we be at
They
that
didn't
church?
say vote for Donald Trump. They said we're going to pray for him. That's what I'm more so talking about. Love thy neighbor. Treat him like this. I'm not saying hate them, but let's be realistic on what's going on. Does that make sense? I hold more responsibility on the church for that. Because as they say, the church is or was the center of the black community. And I think the pastors have to do a little bit more to be a little woke. I would like to see a little bit more woke pastors than what's going on. But that's Nyambi.
Yeah.
And as Nyambi said, I don't have traditional views.
But she loved the Lord. She cussed too.
I do love the Lord and I cuss a little bit. I'm on a long, crooked journey. But I'm going to get there.
Amen.
Come on.
So
Thank you for that letter or note, Sir Jeffrey. It's always a good one. But I guess we do agree with you.
Yeah.
I love the Lord still, though.
Yeah. Me and Sir Jeffrey be having all the most deepest conversation on Twitter.
Really? What y'all be talking about?
Whatever.
Everything. Whatever come up.
We was talking about the black soap today. He's like, y'all.
And the way I'm itching, I can go for some black soap right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's that good black soap. He just hunked off a piece. Actually, it make me want to write to TSA and talk about, how it's discriminatory practice.
It is. Talking about, black soap is explosive.
I said, what ain't explosive or flammable? What ain't flammable in this bag?
Meanwhile, Naomi got incense in her
100.
bag.
I told you.
She got
A
100
mango
incense.
butter.
A mango butter incense. She said, if I wanted to, I go light an incense every fucking. Don't let me light a bunch of them at once.
It just let them go. But it's okay. But anyway, thank you so much for that, Sir Jeffrey. Thank you, DQ. Thank you, Ricardo. Like, it's just been a wonderful episode. What you think, Nero?
It was a dope
It's
episode.
a juicy one, ain't it?
Yeah, it was fun.
All righty.
Alrighty.
And as always, to submit your Black Love stories, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. And to leave a comment, and feel free to leave a comment about anything that we talked about today on our website, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or any forms of social media. And again, that's going to be Black Love Matters, Black with no K. And don't forget, we get that voicemail, y'all, so we can be reached at 508-784-1111. Again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later, and remember, love is ever evolving. Peace.
Peace.